Oi, lads. I can't believe how many of the cards have been revealed already. Alright, let's have a look at these. Cotton Candy Counter. Great name. Convoke, huh? A Convoke counter spell. 0 mana counters are pretty good, but, you know. Tapping 6 creatures is a lot. I know there's a lot of Convoke cards, but like, what's the... How do you make lots of creatures in Standard? Like, with actually good cards. Like, Wedding Announcement... That's about it, innit? Wedding Announcement, Fable, and maybe Skrelv's Hive. Those are the only real good cards that actually make more than one creature. With one card. Soldiers? Who cares about soldiers, man? Like, if soldiers have got 4 creatures in play, they can beat you with any counter spell. They don't need this one. Mage's Attendant is okay, yeah. Right, that seems like just a random card. Ravenous Sailback. 3/4. Haste or destroy artifact or enchantment. Okay, actual nutty limited creature. Convoke only helps with colorless. No, you can make colored mana for Convoke as long as your creature is that color, right? So you can convoke a Denic to pay for either blue or white, for example. Streetwise Negotiator, backup 1. Combat damage equal to its toughness. This thing's kind of sick, no? 2 mana 3/3 with some decent upside, but it's easy to cast. I guess actually it's it dies to cut down though. It is a 3/3 that dies to cut down, so maybe scuffed. Into the Fire. 2 damage to creature, planeswalker in battle. And then big looties, huh? Seems pretty bad. I feel like we've had this card. There's one of these cards in every single set, guys. We never used them. Joyful Storm Sculptor. 2/3 ETB, make 2 tokens. When you cast a spell that has Convoke, deal 1 damage to each opponent and each battle they protect. Seems very bad. Hoarding Broodlord. Convoke. 8 mana Convoke Flyer. Search your library for a card, exile it face down, shuffle for as long as it remains exiled, you may play it. Spells you cast from exile have Convoke. It's an expensive creature, mate. Are our creature generators good enough? Well, that's what I was saying, right? I don't know how good Convoke will be because there are not many cards in Standard that make more than one creature that are actually good. Fable, Wedding Announcement, Skrelv's Hive. That's it, innit? All the other good cards are either one creature or not a creature. Even Skrelv's Hive is not that good. This effect is better than Tutor? Yeah, but... Bro, it's hella amounts of mana, man. When was the last time you cast an 8 mana card in Standard? Convoke helps, yes, but Convoke only helps if there's good cards that make creatures, which is what we're trying to work out if there is. And there's not many. You can consistently cast it for 5 to 6, can't you? Yes. But do you know what else you can cast for 5? Thalia, Denic, and a recruitment officer? Well, the token decks are not necessarily bad, man. Token decks are hard to interact with, but you need to have... it needs to actually be good cards that make tokens, right? We've got Wedding Announcement, Fable, Skrelv's Hive, maybe the Soldier card that makes 2 creatures, but that's pretty bad unless you're planning to buff them somehow, but maybe you don't have to buff them if you're going to use them for Invoke, but if you don't have Convoke? Cityscape is decent for 8 mana. It's not though, is it? I mean, we played Cityscape for the first week of the new set to try and make it work, and then we stopped playing it. It's 2023, guys. It's a new age of Magic. There's no. Have you ever played the Magic the Gathering Arena before? You think your opponents are ever playing anything other than the best meta decks? You gotta be, when you're evaluating cards, you gotta be ruthless, man. Don't ask yourself if you would play this card. Ask yourself, would my opponent play this card? If the answer is no, it sucks. So don't get baited by your own bias. Would your opponent play this against you? Absolutely fucking not. Zalfarin Lancer. Knight Tribal. I mean, this card is bad, but is there going to be a Knight Tribal? Stream has to do the same explanation every set review. That's okay, man. Rotate, please. Alright, here we have our first battle for anyone who's not seen them yet. Invasion of Dominaria. This is a siege battle. I've heard, I don't know if this is true or not, but I've heard that all battles in this set will be sieges, so they should all work the same way. There might be some different battles in future sets though. But anyway, right, so as a siege enters, choose an opponent to protect it. So when we're playing Arena, we only have one opponent, so you put this on the opponent's side of the board. You can attack it. When it's defeated, exile it, then cast it transformed. So you pay 3 for this share, right? You pay 3. You put it on opponent's side of the board, and then you gain 4 life and you draw a card. It's got 5 defense. So basically you have to deal 5 damage to it in some way, you know? Attack it for 5, attack it for 2, and then use a lightning helix on it, you know, like whatever, right? Once you've dealt 5 damage, it flips over into this homie. Sarah Faithkeeper. Flying Vigilance. 4/4. So basically it's 3 mana, gain 4, draw a card, and then once you've dealt 5 damage to it, you get a 4/4 flyer. Everybody following. So this one is obviously bad, but I think there are some good ones. Invasion of Tarkir. So they're all the same, right? When you cast them, they go on your opponent's side of the board. This one costs 2. It also has 5 defense. And when it enters the battlefield, reveal any number of dragon cards from your hand. When you do, deal X plus 2 damage to any target, where X is the number of cards revealed this way. So you deal, like, what, 2 or 4 or 6 or 8 damage to something. And then once you've dealt 5 damage to this battle, you get yourself a little dragon. 4/4 flying trample. When a dragon attacks, deal 2 to any target. Ass. Well, I mean, this is obviously a dragon tribal card, right? Like it's gonna. There's one deck for it. Well, is the deck gonna be good or not? I mean, if there's a dragon tribal deck, this card will be in it for sure. It's kind of like Dragon's Fire, right? 2 mana removal. Not quite as good as Dragon's Fire as a removal spell, but I mean, it's way better than Dragon's Fire if you ever get to flip the dragon. Chrome Host Seed Shark. 3 mana, 2/4 flyer. When you cast a non-creature spell, incubate X, where X is that spell's mana value. I don't really get the incubate thing. Like, I incubate, I do this and then consider. So I get an incubate token with a 1/1 counter on it, right? Then if I cast another consider, do I have 2 incubator tokens that are both 1/1, or do I have one that's a 2/2? If I've not turned it into a creature yet, you have 2 1/1s. Okay, well, this thing is absolutely terrible then, right? It's a Scuffed Shark Typhoon. It's worse than that, man. It's got like... Scuffed Shark Typhoon can still be good. This thing is horrendous. It's not a 3 mana shark, bro. You need to pay 2 mana to get your token. Grafted Butcher. When it enters the battlefield, Phyrexians get menace. Phyrexian Lord. 4 sack an artifact or creature, return from graveyard to battlefield, activate only as a sorcery. Okay. I mean, this is a Lord. I bedge at Lords, but they're always good, aren't they? Thrill Seeker. 1/1 for 3. Backup 2. And for 1, sack this creature deals damage equal to its power to any target. This is pretty good, I think. Mostly, the best thing about this card is it's a reason to play Fable in mono red. Therefore, it's good. It helps you play the best red card in the mono red deck. Therefore, gas. Baral and CROKEYZ. An unlikely alliance. Counter Boy and Aggro Lady, huh? Coming together. 3 mana 2/4 first strike menace. Whenever you cast your first instant or sorcery spell each turn, you may cast a spell with lesser mana value that shares a card type with it from your hand without paying its mana cost. If you don't, create a first mate Ragavan, a legendary 2/1 red monkey pirate creature token that gains haste until end of turn. This card's good. How is it good, man? You only get the monkey if you cast a spell, but then don't take your free one. It's better than the shark, yeah. But still bad though, I think. You either get a free spell or a monkey if you don't have one, win-win. The Disneyland win-win, yeah. It's a win-win if you ignore the loss situation, yes. Legendary creature, human. But Baral is not a human, is he? 2/4 first strike is a good blocker, though. Fucking is it, man? No, it's not really. It shuts down a lot of aggro strats. How does it, man? What aggro strat you playing against that this shuts down? Tell me. 4 toughness, first strike, 2 for 1 on your spells. Yeah, you're just, you know, you're speaking just theoretically. Like, what in real standard, what deck can't attack into this? Every creature in the game is a 3/3 or a 4/5 or a 3/4 or a 4/3 or they're smaller than that and they're index with Kamano. So they become that big anyway. I think people are just dreaming of storming off with Balmor. I'm honestly new set review rule. I'm not. We no longer discuss whether we are going to use this card. New rule. We only discuss whether our opponent will use this card against us. That's how you really know if a card's good. Will our opponent cast against us? Agree to disagree, card is strong. I don't agree to disagree with you. I don't agree that you're allowed to have the opinion that that card's good. So, no. Why is Rankle running when he has wings? Guy who's never seen a pigeon before? Why is this bird on the ground when it has wings? Doesn't it just fly 24/7? Rankle, master of pigeons, yes. 5 mana, flying, first strike, haste, 3/4. Whenever Rankle and Torban deals combat damage to a player or battle, choose any number. Treasures, sack of boys, deal 2 extra. Seems pretty bad. Halo Forager. 3/1 flyer. When it enters the battlefield, you may pay X. When you do, you may cast target instant or sorcery with mana value X from a graveyard without paying its mana cost. If that spell would be put into a graveyard, exile it instead. Guys, if you pay the full price, you can cast it for free. This text is like my sub to Twitch thing. If you pay me $5 a month, I'll let you watch the VODs for free, chat. This would be okay if it had flash and let you cast a 3 mana or less spell for free. I think this is very bad. Guardian of Girapur. This card would be good if it was a 9/9 haste. You just can't, like, these days, man, you can't really play any creatures that you can't cast on curve, and you can't cast that creature on curve, man. It's just, on curve it's a spellbinder with no text. What is this? 3/3 Restoration Angel, no flash? Yeah, this thing's probably fine. For, you know, for ETB Andy. What's the 2-mana guy called? 2-mana 2/2 that flickers. This is a 3/3 flyer version. But you don't get the scry though, and the scry is pretty good. Charming Prince, yeah. Kinda like Charming Prince, innit? This card seems fine to me. As long as there's as long as you're playing full ETB tribal. Give me a rotate, please. Invasion of Tolvada. ETB, return permanent from graveyard to battlefield. 5 defense again. Do they all have 5 defense? Flip into +1/+0 lifelink on tokens. End step, make a token. I mean, kinda goated attracts a card. This one's good, I think. Alabaster Host Sanctifier. Okay, that's the best card in Limited. Best common revealed. New story seeker. Elish Norn. Do we really need to have 100 Elish Norns? 3/5 Vigilance. Whenever a source an opponent controls deals damage to you or a permanent you control, that source's controller loses 2 life unless they pay 1. Sacrifice 3 other creatures. Exile, return to battlefield, activate only as a sorcery. This is shit. I don't know, man. I think it's pretty good. You're gonna, it's just it's white Tarban, isn't it? This will be like the, maybe top end of a, like, mono white creature deck, I imagine. Seems good. Backside is ridiculous. The backside doesn't matter. You can't use it, man. You can't sack. You gotta sack 3 creatures and exile your Elish Norn. You can't click the button unless the opponent's got no cards, so it's irrelevant. Italy Primal Conqueror. Elder Dinosaur. What is this art? I mean, it looks insanely good, but it doesn't look like a Magic card. That's very cool, though. Not even reading it? Well, it doesn't matter, man. You can't use it. When Italia enters the battlefield, each player exiles cards from the top of their library until they exile a non-land card. You may cast any number of spells from among the non-land cards exiled this way without paying their mana costs. 7 mana, 7/7 trample, cast 2 random cards for free. Bad Atraxa. I don't know about Bad Atraxa. It's different to Atraxa. It's more like Titan of Industry than Atraxa. Is it better or worse than Titan of Industry? Hard to say, innit? About the same, probably. Maybe a little bit better. Can't copy it with Kikijiki though, true. Kind of true. Extremely relevant, by the way, as much as I would like it not to be. You can blink it. You can blink Titan too, right? You can blink Atraxa too. It does seem a little bit worse than Titan and a lot worse than Atraxa, sadly. Realmbreaker, the Invasion Tree. Legendary artifact. 3 mana. For 2, opponent mills 3, steal their land. And for 10, search library for Praetors and put them on the board. Five mana, ramp 1, 7, 2, 9, 3. Seems very bad. Sword of Once and Future. Equipped creature gets +2/+2 and has pro blue, pro black. Whenever a equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, surveil 2. You may cast an instant or sorcery with mana 2 or less from your graveyard without paying its cost. Exile the card. These swords are so shit, huh? They're scuffed. Quintorius Loremaster. Again, like, actually, insanely cool art, man. Why do I feel Commander is the reason behind all this dog shit? Well, because Commander players buy cards and you skimp out, so Wizards care about the other guy and not you. If you want cards designed for you, you need to buy them, mate. Get over it. Quintorius Loremaster. 3/5. Vigilance. At the beginning of your end step, exile target non-creature, non-land card from your graveyard. Create a 3/2 token. End step. What's 6/7 Vigilance? Sack a spirit. Choose a card exiled, cast it without paying its cost. I mean, this is ultra snowball, but it's also just very expensive, man. You create a product I want to buy, then I buy it. That's how it works. Yeah, I mean, if you're the only person in planet Earth, but you're not, right? How it actually works is company A finds out how many people are interested in their product, let's say 1,000, for example, and then they make the thing that most of those 1,000 people will buy. They're going to make the one that 10 people buy, not the one that 5 people buy. The ability is mana cheat. I mean, it is. Like, this card is obviously going to win. But there's a lot of cards that win if they're not removed. The thing is that we only play the ones that don't lose when they are removed. So do you lose the game if opponent kills this creature? It doesn't really matter that it snowballs to win if it stays in play. Every card that gets played in standard snowballs to a win if it stays in play. The ones that get removed but don't cost you the game, those are the ones that actually make it into your deck. I mean, this is a fatty for the red removal spells, but you don't want to see a swamp on the opponent's side of the board if you're using this. Even if it gets removed and you don't use the active, it's still good. What? No, it's not. I cast this, my opponent casts Go for the Throat. Oh, that was good for me. What a deal. This card is hard, huh? I mean, like, there's not many cards in Standard that cost 5 that actually do solo in the game. Like this card will. The game is over if it survives for 1 turn. So it's a bit. This is a little bit different to most of the other ones. Like most cards like this, you can just immediately write them off as unplayable. But this one is. Even though it dies to removal, it's real spooky, huh? You have to live 1 turn and the game is over. So it could be good, but it's hard. Like this card, when a creature costs this much mana and it dies to removal, I mean, it has to be at least this good to see play. But maybe it has to be even better than this though. I will say that this will probably not see play, but I'm going to try it. It's the one dies to removal creature so far that I've seen that might be at least worth a try. Zergo and Ojitai. Flying Haste. 5 mana Jeskai card, Flying Haste. Hexproof. When dragons deal damage, look at top 3, 1 into hand. It's alright. It's just just a big old creature as usual. Glissa, Herald of Predation. 5 mana, 3/5. Incubate 2 twice. Transform all incubator tokens. Phyrexians gain first strike and death touch. Okay, very scuffed. Borberig Moss and Fibblethip. Legendary creature Cyclops Homunculus. Teamer card, 6/5 for 5, enters the battlefield or attacks, draw a card, then discard any number of lands. When you discard 1 or more cards this way, deal twice that much damage to creature. Put it onto its owner's library, 3rd from the top. Every card just costs 5, man. It's not spectacular, but I mean, if you're gonna play Teamer, what else are you gonna play for 5 mana? There's nothing else to play. Will my opponents play this? That's what I'm saying. If my opponent's playing Teamer lands, I think they will play this, yeah. I think it's better than it seems at first glance. Drana and Linvala. Flying Vigilance 3/4. Activated abilities of creatures your opponents control can't be activated. Has all activated abilities of all creatures your opponent controls. You may spend mana as though it were mana of any color to activate those abilities. Okay, broken sideboard card. Surak and Goreclaw. Legendary creature Human Bear. 6/5 trample. Other creatures have trample. When a non-creature enters the battlefield, put a counter on it against haste. Insanely scuffed. Brother, why is every creature literally 1,000,000 mana? Ruins Recluse. Reach Death Touch. Things kind of gas. Fairgrounds Trumpeter. At the beginning of each end step, if a counter was put on a permanent, skip card. Ortheon, Hero of Lava Brink. Four mana Fable. Please. Terror of Tawashi. 4 mana 4/3 Death Touch. When it attacks, pay 4. When you do, return creature from graveyard to battlefield. It's a Phyrexia in addition to its other types. Seems bad. Axeguard Artisan. When one or more counters are put on it for the first time each turn, create a treasure. Okay, busted. How'd you put counters on a creature, chat? This plus Wandering Emperor. Kamano. Yep, this plus Kamano. Kamano doesn't work. How does Kamano not work? Oh, Kamano doesn't work? Teachings. I mean, this card's is OP, by the way. Hard to think off the top of my head what deck you're putting it in, but the card's busted as hell. It's like a Magda, right? Crag Smasher Yeti. Mountain Cycling 2. What? Discard this card, search library for a mountain card, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle. Eh? Seer of Stolen Sight. 2/3 menace. Whenever one or more artifacts or creatures are put into a graveyard, surveil one. Seems pretty good too. Historic banger, this card. Injector Crocodile. When it dies, incubate 3. Swamp Cycling 2. Interdisciplinary Mascot. 3 ward, 5/5, convoke, 8 mana. ETB, look at the top 4, put 1 into your hand, rest on the bottom of your library. 8 mana? Well, you play it in a tokens deck, right? This thing seems good, man. If you cast it for a 4, it's great. Anything less than that is busted. Again, it just depends how many good token making cards you can put in your deck. There's not that many so far. But this seems good, I think. Get some well, like Jeskai tokens. Get like, you know, get with Skrelv Hive wedding announcement, Fable, make some tokens, convoke, cast this, copy it with Fable, win game, easy clap. Referee squad. 3 mana convoke creature. 2/2 ETB tap a creature, put a stun counter on it. Zephyr Winder. Deal combat damage to a player, untap up to 1 target creature. Transcendent Message. I draw X cards. Essence of Orthodoxy. I think it's trash. Monastery Mentor. 3 mana 2/2 prowess. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, create a 1/1 creature token with prowess. It's a good card. Great, good card for our Jeskai Convoke deck. Really sick art too. Yeah, restricted and vintage, by the way. Bald men equals sick art. What are you on about? Jeskai Convoke actually seems... Jeskai Token seems like it could be good. They need a... Jeskai, it desperately needs some good removal though. Boonbringer of Valkyrie. Lyra. Seedpod Caretaker. Counter on artifact or creature. Seen that one. Polychronos Reborn. 3 mana 4/5 reach. Seems bad. Man, like green just is fucking so bad. So bad. They give you 4 5s with reach for 3 and it still fucking sucks. What's on the other side? Doesn't really matter, does it? It costs 7, so you're gonna pay 7 to have Polychronos Reborn be the top card in your graveyard. Not a good deal. Essence, I've seen this. Phyrexia and Pegasus, scuffed. Invasion of Fiora. 6 mana battle. Destroy all legendaries or destroy all non-legendaries. And then you get a Menace Death Touch. If you haven't been dealt combat damage, draw a card and lose life. You have to deal 4 to this card to activate it? Yeah, basically. So you play the siege, you get the siege effect, and then once you've dealt 4 damage to the siege, you then get the creature. The siege is 6 mana, yeah. I mean, this one's scuffed, obviously. I think some of them are decent, though. Invasion of Ravnica. This is a colorless one. 5 mana, exile non-land permanent. Defense 4. You get a 5/5. If you cast a spell that's 2 colors, draw a spell that's 2 colors. I mean, how many 2 color cards can you play? Not that many. Battles are utter garbage, correct? I would say no. I think they can be good, yeah. Most of them are going to be bad, of course, just like most of every other card type is bad too. Sword of Once and Future. Kami of Whispered Hopes. 3 mana 1/1. Counter tribal. Botanical Brawler. Speedrun? Oh, I've already looked at the ones that I'm skipping. Come on, read the cards. I have read the cards. How about come on, show up to the fucking stream on time instead of turning up late and then saying, oh, why are you not reading all these things again for me specifically? Didn't know we had to take attendance. Oh, we don't have to take attendance, man. This is not school. You don't show up late and then get into trouble from the teacher. No. What happens here is you show up late, you just stay fucking dumb. No education for you if you stay up late. It's your choice, man. You're an adult. You can turn up in time or you can remain stupid, uninformed. I'm not telling you you must take one option. Either option is fine by me. You do not have an option 3, which is turn up late and then say, come on, streamer, start again. Fuck off. CROKEYZ University of Magic. Indeed, we're all here to increase our knowledge base, aren't we? Right, 2 mana 0/0 trample seems bad. Stoke the Flames. 4 damage to any target. Why 4, man? Croak the Flames. This card is terrible. It could honestly cost 2, it would be fine. But it costs 4. Scrappy Bruiser. Target attacking creature gets +2/+0 and trample until end of turn. Dramatic Revelation. 2? Like, why couldn't it cost 2, man? Destroy creatures, dealt damage, draw a card. 2 mana, 1/1 incubate 2. 2 deal 4 to any target. Yeah. Seal from existence. Oblivion Ring with Ward 3. Honestly, it's okay. Negate. Counter target non-creature spells. Seems bad. Surely unplayable. Elspeth Smite. 3 damage to attacking or blocking creature. Exile it. Not bad for 1 mana. Archangel Elspeth. 4 mana, make a token, put 2 counters and give it flying. Seems worse than Elish Norn, man. As a top end for aggro. Good ult, yeah. But worse than Elish Norn, I think. But mostly because it's a non-creature. So you fucked your Thalia. I think I'd rather play Elish Norn, but this looks fine too. It might be better than Elish Norn. Let's wait and see. Can fit in those grindy white decks. There's no space for it, right? You need the Wandering Emperor instead. In that type of deck. I cannot transform. What's the other side of this? An 8/8. It's probably good then. Because if you've got 6 power on board, isn't this just a 2 mana 8/8? Not bad. Could be awkward though. But that one seems like one of the better ones. 6 mana creature removal. I sleep. Invasion of Ixalan. This one doesn't have a backside either. Look at the top 5, reveal a permanent, put it into your hand. Okay, I mean, the backside of this has to be really bad for this one not to be good. What's the backside of this? We don't know the backside yet. Okay. Lyra, Archpriest of Shadows, 5 mana, Death Touch, deal Sleeper. Invasion of New Phyrexia. Make X 2/2s. Transform into Teferi. Draw 2, discard 2 unless you discard a creature. Knights get +1/+0, ward 2. Tap X creatures, shuffle. Shuffle a homie away. What did they do to my boy? This one has 6 defense, which is, that's quite a lot. These, like, the white ones are just all scuffed though. Because you need to play creatures. Or you want to play creatures. So that you can attack them. So, but then if you're going to play white creatures, you want to play Thalia. If you're going to play Thalia, you tax your own thing. So it's really awkward. I just don't see on what planet you would choose this instead of Thalia if you're faced with a choice. Wait, what is this? 4 mana ramp 2. Wren and Realmbreaker. 3 mana. Lands. Lands you control or lands? Whoa. You can now tap your lands for mana. My lands are now lands. The 1 land you control becomes a 3/3 Vigilance Hex per haste until your next turn. Mill 3, put a permanent card into hand. You may play lands and cast permanent spells from your graveyard. This is awesome. Don't know, man. Seems bad to me. Three mana is pretty cheap. Is it? I wouldn't say 3 mana is cheap. 3 mana is the same price as every other good card in the format, no? I mean, if one player's got Fable and one player's got Wren, I think you want to be the person with Fable. They do different things though. Yeah, one of them wins a game and one of them draws a card. Good in an Atraxa deck? I don't think so, man, no. Atraxa decks are already, like, they're slow and dirtily, right? You don't want to be paying that much mana for a card that doesn't protect you in any way. I think this is really bad. It's a 4-mana card, basically, yeah. So, like, it's a 4-mana card if you want to plus, it's a 3-mana card if you want to minus. You just won't get to minus that often, man. Like, what on earth is your opponent doing if you're going to get away with going 3 mana, then minus this, and having it not die? you could have played any... If you can ever minus this and have it not die, then you could just have played any of the other good 3-mana cards in Standard, and you would also be winning that game, and the other 3-mana cards in Standard are also good in some other situations where this isn't, right? So it's just utterly pointless, it's trash. You're sleeping in this card? Okay, I mean, trash is harsh, right? It's not a trash card. It's a good card, but unfortunately it costs 3. And this is Standard, man. Every good Standard card costs 3. So even though this is a good card, it's still the 27th best 3-mana card, so it's completely irrelevant. You may as well just call it trash, because trash is the wrong word. I'll call it unplayable. Which I guess is slightly different. Really want strong 1 and 2 drops? Every card in every deck wants strong 1 and 2 drops, man. Fairy Mastermind. Flash Flying Rogue. Whenever opponent draws their second card each turn, you draw a card. Each player draws a card. Rogue, huh? Yatta! This seems okay. Surely playable. Cool card too. One we will be trying. Chandra Hope's Beacon. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell copy, you may choose new targets for the copy ability. Triggers only once per turn. Add 2 mana. Exile top 5 until the end of your next turn. Cast an instant or sorcery. Deal X damage to each of up to 2 targets. 6 mana, man. Sag. Breach the Multiverse. 7 mana sorcery. Not reading it. Jin Gitaxias. Ward 2. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell with mana value 3 or greater, draw a card. Okay, this is the first one where I'm going to read the backside, chat, because it's got ward. Draw cards equal to the number of cards in your hand. You have no maximum hand size for as long as you control blah blah blah. Return blah 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 blah. Cast the blah 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 blah. Yeah, seems bad. There's an insane amount of 5 mana creatures. There's like 25 mana creatures. Crazy. Why is it so expensive? It's really weird, man. There are so many 4 and 5 mana creatures. It's nuts. Heliod. ETB return enchantment card that isn't a god from graveyard to hand. Okay, good start. You cast spells as though they had flash. Okay, that one's okay. Finally. Thalia and the Gitrog monster. 4 mana, 4/4, first strike, death touch. Okay, good start. Play an additional land. Creatures and non-basic lands your opponents control enter the battlefield tapped. Okay, goated. When it attacks, sack a creature or land, draw a card. But you have to sack a creature or land. It's not a choice. Which is... means it's unplayable, man, because of Shelly, dude. Yikes. Omnath, Locus of All. If you would lose unspent mana, that mana becomes black. Unplayable. If it's not a choice, it's completely and utterly unplayable. Yeah. Shelly is in the meta. Shelly is not that good, but that's because the whole meta is built around her, right? Like you only play cards that are decent against Shelly. Like you start making your opponent's Shelly's good, you're just fucked. Attacking is a choice. Well, it's not a choice against Shelly because you will lose if you don't attack. But you will also lose if you do attack. So the card is unplayable. As always, chat, I urge you to evaluate cards using your brain. I've enlightened you to the new rule about evaluating cards. You no longer do we evaluate cards as us using them. We evaluate our cards as our opponent using them. If my opponent plays this card against me, am I scared? No. Therefore it's bad. If you evaluate them as you yourself playing them, you will be influenced by your own human bias because you're weak. You're weak-minded. You can only see the Disneyland variation of the game. But if you evaluate them as it being on your opponent's side of the board, you will evaluate them fairly because you have no bias for or against your opponent. When your opponent plays this, is it broken? No. Are you scared? No. It's not that good. Omnath. All of your opponents are playing broken decks, though? Exactly. That's how we'll find... exactly. You sit down to play Magic, you sit down for your best of 1 standard session. You play 10 games. 9 of them are against tier 1 meta decks. So during your Magic session, just think about it. Think, well, during these 10 games, how many times will my opponent use this card against me? If it's 0, it's bad. If it's 1, it's bad. If it's 2, it's great. Omnath, Locus of All. What the hell is this? Five mana, 4/4. It's 3 color tribal, huh? 5 color, 3 color tribal. If you would lose unspent mana, that mana becomes black instead. So you're playing, what, mono black, splash 4 colors? This thing is very weird. I mean, it draws cards and makes mana. Like, that is a bit spooky. You may reveal the card if it has... So at the beginning of your pre-combat main phase, you... What? You draw a card and you make 3 mana? Pretty nuts. Oh wait, you look at the top 1 card. Oh, right. For some reason I thought I was looking at like the top 6 cards. You see 1 card. Well then it's shit, innit? Yikes. I was wondering if it was even good if you got to look at like the top 6 cards. Golta and Mavrin. 7 mana, 12/12 trample. Whenever you attack with anything, choose one. Create a dinosaur. Or create many vamps. Are the creatures that you make are not even attacking, are they? If I press tab, it says skip to main content. This is the main content, rude website. Omnath. Yargle and Multani. 6 mana, 18/6. I've heard much about you from my daughter, Multani rumbled. There was a time when I'd balk at your aid, Phantom, but she has shown me the merit in Urborg's strange ways. Ribbit, replied Yargle. So true. What about this plus Shadow Spear? 19 lifelink. Moment of Truth. Top 3, 1 hand, 1 graveyard, 1 library. Alright, so what do we have here? We've got... Any bangers? I think Elish Norn is good. Honestly, this Burbagurmos guy could be decent. Dude, Monastery Mentor is a banger, of course. There was another few good ones. Allow me to scroll a second. Fairy Mastermind is Dees. The Butcher is Dees. Heliod is Dees. This I think is really good. The Disciplinary Mascot. Quintorius is a very interesting one. I'm not willing to give an opinion on it being good or bad yet. It's a 5 mana creature that dies to removal, but it does literally win the game the next turn, so I believe it is worth a try. Thrill Seeker could be good. Some decent cards so far. So what is this scuffed ass website, man? Why is the card not in the middle? When it enters the battlefield, look at the top 6 cards. Your library, you may reveal up to 2 creature cards with mana value X or less from among them, where X is the number of creatures that convoked Knight Errant of Eos. Put the revealed cards into your hand, then shuffle. Oh, I mean, this thing was gas. This thing's mega gas. Classic white card. What? Dude, what? Is it just me, or are we heading towards a situation where white is the only colour in Magic? Like, what is going on here? What, like, is it? It's crazy. Doomscar Krieger. Okay, so it's got Hilfestellung 1, and it's a Verursacht Trampelschaden. Immer wenn dice Kreatur einem Spieler oder einer Schlacht Kampfschaden zufügt, scheu der entsprechend, weil Karten oben an deiner Bibliothek an. Du kannst davon ein Creature oder Landerkarte offen verzeigen und auf deine Hand nehmen. Lege den Rest in zufälliger Reihenfolge unter deiner Bibliothek. Okay, so obviously I don't speak German, but that was a decent attempt, right? That was a solid effort for a man who doesn't speak German at all. Mid. Yeah, I think bibliothek means deck. Creaturen means creature. Trampelschaden means trample, obviously. Verursacht means vigilance. Vigilance and trample. Oh, so what does the card actually say, chat? Oh, you can just, if you scroll down, there will be an English translation. Bro, Verursacht Trampelschaden just means trample. I'm telling you, man, German it's the worst language in the world. Like, it was invented by fucking idiots. Like, you've just added 15 letters that achieve absolutely nothing. It's so inefficient. Don't piss off the German community. Dude, I'm not going to piss off the German community by saying German is dumb. I would piss off Germans by saying German is good. Have you ever met a German person before? They all fucking hate Germany. Like, I've yet to meet a German who likes Germany. The only people that like Germany are people that are from out with the borders. I like Germany. I've been to a few German places in my time, and I've had a good time every time. And it is good that way. German spotted, capitalizing the word good. Random capital letters, excess words, you know. Just what's going on? Self-reported, dude. Alright, whenever this creature does combat damage to a player or a battle card, look at that many cards on top of your library, move your creature or land card and put it into your hand, put the rest in the bottom of your library in a random order. How much does this thing cost? 4? Classic green creature, huh? Is backup 1... Does that mean, like, it's 1/1/1 counter? Or does it mean, like, one creature gets the ability? Oh, it's both. Dude, it's really hard to evaluate green creatures, isn't it? Like, because 99% of them are just utter garbage. I mean, I'm sure this is also one of the 99%. Hidetsuku and Keri. 5 mana flying. When it enters the battlefield, draw 3, put 2 from hand. Okay. Brainstorm creature. We've had one of those before with the same price. It wasn't very good. When it dies, exile the top card of your library. Target opponent loses life equal to its mana value. If it's an instant or sorcery, you may cast it without paying its mana cost. Okay, cards gas. Cards gas. I need to... It's easily good. Actual 5 mana creature that's decent. Does something on ETB, does something on death. Finally a good card. Ogre Demon Dragon. Way better than AO for Esper Legends, yeah. Way better than AO. Okay, actually a good one. Not Vault Hermit. This art, man. This is a German when you say German sucks. How dare you? How dare, or should I say, how in Zinjin der in Zinbunjin you bujin bedin I gug. I was just adding random letters to my words, man. I was trying to get in the spirit of things. I'm just reciting German. Ignorant Irish streamer? You can say that, man, but you can tell that I'm an incredibly intelligent individual. Since my ancestors, thousands of years ago, they, you know, they recognized the brutality of man and they ran away and hid on an island. Whereas your dumbass ancestors stayed on the mainland and just wanted to fight everyone. Nah, I'm not leaving. I'm just gonna stand here in the middle of everyone. You fool. Cowards. You know, coward is just, it's another word for sensible in my book. Storm the Seed Core. I see green mana, I skip. Invasion of Kaladesh. Okay, great start. 2 mana, and you get a token when... Okay. And you flip into a big-ass vehicle. Power is equal to number of artifacts you control, crew 1. But actually a good card. Pretty guess? I think so, man, yeah. Two mana, you get a Thopter token. Which, I mean, any Foundry players in the chat? And then, yeah. That one seems great. Invasion of Segovia, 3 mana. When it enters the battlefield, 2 tokens. Okay, good start again. Non-creature spells you cast have Convoke. At the beginning of your end step, untap up to 4 target creatures. Alright, this one's gas too. Okay, chat, we're getting somewhere with our Jeskai tokens deck. Good job. Picture this, okay? Monastery Mentor. Currently legal and standard young pyromancer that I always forget his name. Fable, Invasion of Segovia, Wedding Announcement, few removal spells, few counter spells, few convoke spells. Bish bash bosh. That's your rank 1 on the ladder, baby. Easy. But the deck is still seriously missing some good removal, though. And I mean seriously. Jeskai removal is scuffed. Then opponent plays Shelly, and what next? Well, then you use your good removal spell that you need. That I just was speaking about. The butt feeder Phoenix has Fligand. Butt feeder. 2 mana 2/2 can't block. When instants or sorceries deal damage to an opponent or battle card, you may pay red. If you do, return it from graveyard to battlefield. It gains haste until end of turn. Yeah, it's okay. Some decent cards we're getting here. We're getting some decent cards. Ecuador! Ecuador!